I very much pay attention to Call of Duty's financials, and I listen to every quarterly call that they have.
Wow.
Because you have to really pay attention to what they're doing to set yourself up in the future.
So this is you watching the CEO and the CFO talking about the Activision future and financials.
Did anyone else do that?
Probably not.
Oh my goodness, I've never heard about this before.
I have like 4 or 5 videos for the end of the year that are going to be my top viewed videos because I know what's going on at Activision and I pay attention to everything. I have everything like rooted out perfectly.
Wow. I mean, you literally look for all the data possible from both the finance, from the performance, as well as the actual content that gets leaked out.
Creative Disruption.
Hey everyone, welcome to Creative Disruption. I'm your host, Ricky Ray Butler, and I am so excited about today's episode or podcast. I have Hunter from Hunter TV. This guy is amazing. He has probably one of the highest subscriber to viewership ratios, and he's really making it happen. Hey Hunter, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
With as much work that I've done in gaming, I've only had a small amount of actual gamers like Neil Zelt, Matt Pat. I guess Mr. Beast counts with Mr. Beast Gaming. You're probably one of the more like core gamers that we've had on. We'll talk about like your story and the success, but the thing that I want to just like lean in on is your content and the originality of the content. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're doing like a comedic tutorial, but you're doing you're doing gameplay, but you're also doing some elements of education in real life. Can you guys like describe to the audience what you consider your genre to be and like the creative process behind it?
Okay, so I would consider it comedy / entertainment / gaming. But for the gaming side, like you don't even have to be like a hardcore Call of Duty player. You don't even have to play Call of Duty at all. And you can still enjoy the videos. And that's like what I care about most because I don't get into details about like, dropping a 30 bomb in Warzone or like gameplay kind of stuff. It's just one of those things where if you just want to get entertained and you just want an interesting subject, you go to me for that. And so that's the creative process behind it, is I find like a topic that people might be interested in, or I might come up with something that no one's ever done. And then I kind of just build off that idea, and it'll start as one thing, but by the time I'm done, it becomes a completely different thing. I've been doing this about the last 11, 12 months. I try to introduce a lot of real life elements that are nothing hardcore, where something casual can get into it. So the first time I really did this is when I went to Alcatraz Island in real life, because it's based off of a Call of Duty map that was super popular in Warzone 1 called Rebirth Island.
Is this the rat video?
Yeah, this is the rat video.
This is so good.
It's a 1-to-1 remake of the map, like with real life. And there's more value to people that are not even into Call of Duty. They just might be into gaming, and they see that and will go, oh my gosh, like that's real life compared to the game. Like the developers did a good job. It might be interesting for random people. You never know. Because like Watch Dogs has Alcatraz. I don't play Watch Dogs, but like it was interesting to see how the developers did the comparison with the game. So that's where it stems from, is just come up with a creative idea, build off of it where anybody could look at it. And every video I try to do like a real life element. So the first time I did Alcatraz in real life with the rat video, and the second rat video I got to play Warzone 2 early in front of like an audience. So that was the real life part for that. And then the third rat video, I went to real life Shipment in real life Nuketown, which is like some of Call of Duty's most remade and most popular maps of all time. So it's like super interesting. So you could be just the most casual gamer ever and get into it.
Where's the location?
For which ones?
Like the Nuketown.
Nuketown and Shipment. I flew to Michigan, and then I drove 8 hours to Indiana to get to both locations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a struggle. And I did that right after I just got home from Texas from recording a gaming event for Call of Duty. So I did back-to-back trips for that one.
Yeah, like the rat video with Alcatraz, like that was just like one that was like just shocking to me, because I was like, wait, is this guy's dressed up like a rat, and like and is it, and he called it a rat video because people called you a rat, right?
So I wrote the idea a year before I actually made the video.
Oh wow.
Because it's like a super popular term to call people rats in Call of Duty. Like people get mad, they call you rat. And I thought it was hilarious when people get mad, and casual viewers love like the drama of like tryhards getting upset. So I was like, wrote the document for this rat idea, and I kind of worked on it a little bit in 2021. And then I stored the idea because I didn't have like the knowledge on how to create videos like that and how to storytell yet. So I just stored that video, and then I came back a year later when I had a lot more knowledge with YouTube, and that's when I executed the idea for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, you were starting to plan it a year in advance.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like at the time when I was doing it, I just stopped. I didn't delete anything. I just like, "All right, I'm gonna put this on hold right now because I don't feel like I have the skills necessary to do what I want to do with it." And then I started doing more research on like storytelling. I watched a lot of like documentaries from like people that made Wall-E, Finding Nemo, all that stuff, to like really understand storytelling. And that's when I revisited the video a year later. Yeah, I went
No
through like a
way.
bunch of process to really get that one made.
So like what from I mean like from like Finding Nemo or these storytellers that you learned that made the biggest difference to making this video happen?
So
To
the
give you the
biggest
confidence to do it.
the biggest thing with those stories is like for Wally especially, there's certain scenes and moments that like really connect the viewer, and I applied that to my videos, and I also learned how to like do a lot of camera angles and how to cut things properly as well, and that all just like brought it together for the first time. I'm still improving at it, but like that was the first time I really put that knowledge to work because my videos from 2000 the end of 2019 to the beginning of 2022, I followed a certain format with all those videos, and this was the first video to really break that format, and it did like super well. It was so different from what I usually do, but it did incredibly well, and I made like such an impact like with Call of Duty that they literally added like a rat skin to the game because of like my videos I was making.
That's amazing. Well, like, those that haven't watched the video, you got to watch it. Hunter is wearing like this like silly like rat suit, and he's sharing like the different angles or the experiences in the different locations of where he was very successful in this map from Call of Duty, and it's just really funny because you see him in this rat suit doing the angle, and then you get a clip of somebody calling him rat because they like took him out in the game, and it's so engaging. Where I like when I just started watching, I watched the entire thing.
I appreciate it. So like how I did that is I came up with the clips first, like with Rebirth Island. I got all the clips, and then I'd like render the clips, put it on my phone, and then I just told my friend one day, I was like, "We're going to Alcatraz." He's like, "Okay," and then he just came with me, and then he recorded me. I'd be like standing near the warehouse in real life. I'll be like, "Oh, this is where I did this in game," and then it cuts like the flashback of the game. So that was like the biggest brain idea I've ever had, and I'm gonna do more stuff like that in the future with like future locations because Call of Duty is always doing real life stuff. It's just increasingly getting difficult because I knocked out like the easiest ones already.
Yeah, well, it seems like there's like this transparency or like this like relatability that I think people have, like when you're like telling your story in the actual place with the exact same angles that you're seeing in the game, and then just showing both worlds together. Because like in a way, we kind of get like lost. We get kind of like lost in the game and the gameplay and like in the maps, but we never really correlate it with the actual location. So like I think it is so unique. You mentioned that you were doing different types of videos before that. What were those videos? What were the formats? And then what like inspired you to do this? How did you know this was going to be good, or were you just passionate or curious about it?
Okay, so I can give you like the whole backstory of like every YouTube piece I've ever made. So it started when I've always wanted to do YouTube since I was like a child. Like when I got my first iPod in like the early 2000s, can't remember what year. Maybe it was like around 2008, 9, 10ish. Whenever the iPod with the camera came out, and me and my friends would make like little stop motion videos with Legos, where like we'd mount the camera, take the picture, move the Legos a little bit, take a picture. That's where that started, and then in 2011, Infinity Ward had theater mode in Modern Warfare 3, and you were able to go back and view games you already played, and you could you could record little clips, and then YouTube would automatically upload it, which was huge back then because back then computers weren't accessible, laptops weren't accessible, recording softwares weren't accessible, and I was only like 11 years old, so 11, 12 years old, so it was really different having this theater mode capability where you could upload straight to YouTube. So I uploaded like my first Call of Duty Ninja Defuse in 2011, and Ninja Defusing is when like the enemy plants the bomb and you like sneak in and defuse it without them knowing. So I did that in 2011, and then in 2014 for my birthday, I got my first like Elgato capture card, and I really wanted to do like gameplay videos on Call of Duty Ghosts. Like I loved Call of Duty Ghosts. Like I played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4, like the original one in 2008 when I was 8. So in 2014, I got my first capture card. I started recording like Call of Duty Ghost videos. I was doing like the gun game trolling where like if you knife someone, like it ranks them down. I was doing a bunch of that kind of stuff. And then in 2015, when Black Ops 3 came out, I really started getting into YouTube and was like really starting to understand how to edit and stuff on Sony Vegas. And I was making like ninja diffusing videos on Black Ops 3 from 2015, 2016, 2017. And then when Fortnite came out, I started doing like more of these fast paced, like pop culture references, memes, like music kind of videos. And it kind of took off like a little bit and then it died instantly. And I did that for about a year and a half. And then Modern Warfare 2019 came out, and I was working at a coffee shop at the time. And I remember the day Modern Warfare 2019 came out, I called in sick, like when the game came out, and I just played it all day. And I got in huge trouble when I got back to work because I knew. And I made my first Modern Warfare 2019 video 3 weeks after the game came out, and it picked up like 2,000, 3,000 views in one day. And I was like, cool. And then a week later, I made another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 video, and it got, I want to say 25,000 views in 2 days. And I had about 10,000 subscribers at this time. And I quit my job at Starbucks and I was working, the first day I worked at Amazon.
Well, that's a risk. Like you have 10,000 subscribers and you get 25,000 views. Like it's not typical for creators. It's like, okay, quit and like jump over. So you were working at Starbucks? I was
working at Starbucks when I released the first video, and then I quit my job there to work at Amazon. And the first day I worked at Amazon, my video was out for 2 days, got 25,000 views. I went home and told my parents I was quitting. And they didn't question it. They were just like, okay. And
whoa, that's dope.
Yeah, and then from there, I uploaded one Modern Warfare video the week after I quit, and that video hit 100,000 in a week. And then ever since then, every 1 week, I was uploading a video. And then by the end of the year, or by March of next year, the beginning of March, I was at about 80,000 subscribers. And I was hearing rumors about like this battle royale Call of Duty coming out called Warzone. And I really learned my lesson with Fortnite because I didn't take advantage of Fortnite. Like I didn't go full force with Fortnite. And I was like, okay, this is another chance.
That's what I was going to ask, is like most of these newer creators that have recently got a lot of success, especially in gaming, they typically find the next hottest game and just become like one of the best entertainers around that game or best players around that game. But you stuck with like a fairly old franchise.
Yeah, so I'll explain that in a second. So I heard rumors the Battle Royale coming out, and I was like, okay, this is my chance to redo the Fortnite cycle where I could blow up. Because that's where I got like 5,000 subscribers was Fortnite. And it was like literally a lucky, like crazy week. So the week that Modern Warfare dropped Warzone in March was the same week that the pandemic hit. And also the same week, I had a girl at the time, but she was like not rocking with me doing YouTube. And then she's like, "You're not going to college. Like, I don't want to be with you, blah, blah, blah." I was like, all right, cool. That's fine. And that same week that happened, Warzone came out and the pandemic hit. And I uploaded my first Warzone video, and it was like the most successful video ever. And from there, I went from one video a week to one video every 5 days. And it got to the point where I was getting 40 to 60,000 subscribers a month. And every video was just like hitting. And then when Cold War was coming out, I was playing on Xbox at the time. So when Cold War came out, I switched to PC, and that's where things got even crazier, because once you switch to PC, you get more audio stuff you can do with recording, better quality. So when Black Ops Cold War came out in November of 2020, that's when like I blew up even more. And then during that time, I made top 20 for Phase 5, which is like a challenge where you could join Phase if you were the top 5. There was over 200,000 submissions, and I got top 100. And then I later on got top 20, and then I lost top 5, which was like the greatest thing ever, because I became the biggest hater ever, and I like wanted to like make videos way better. So I was like having my peak viewership at that time after I lost for like the rest of 2021. And then later that year, around September, FaZe Rain reached out to me, and he's like, "Yo, like I saw your videos. He asked me to be a part of FaZe, so I worked with FaZe for a little bit, not as a creator, but like to help them out. And things didn't really work out just because it wasn't FaZe Rain's fault. It was just like FaZe as like a company. They weren't really in it to make like super passionate videos, and they weren't in it to have an amazing fan base. They just really wanted money. So I was like, I'm not going to be part of this. So I left because my creative ideas were being shelved, which like really like, I don't want to say that, it really pissed me off because I was like,
you're a principled artist.
Yeah, my like inner child like died knowing that FaZe at like changed to just being about the money and not about making great content, which as you can see now, if you pay attention to FaZe, it's really fallen. And then I, for a short period of time, was working with Aiden Ross for a very, very, very short period of time. And then I just have been on my own since then. And I stopped working with like Aiden and FaZe around the time I came up with the rap video idea. And the rap video, ever since that, it's been like great making videos now because I get to do so many different things and learn a lot more. And the reason I stick with the Call of Duty franchise is because people want to say it's going to die, but they have over 20 years of data. So they know exactly what to do when they need to do it. And they have so many games that could remaster that if it were to actually fall flat, they have Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. They have years worth of remasters where I know it would be completely fine. So that's why I've stuck with the franchise and I haven't gone out and, you know, other people are like switching over to X Defiant or anything else like that. I just stick to Call of Duty, and I also stick to Call of Duty because that's where the passion really is. Because all my friends play Call of Duty. Like when we play, it's like an immersive experience. Like we're really in the game. I don't play with other creators. If I do play with other creators, it's like a very small collab. But most of the time, I just play with my real life friends because like we have the chemistry that the viewer can relate to.
Yeah, viewer squad.
And it's more connected to the audience, and that's why I just like playing with my friends and just playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, you know what? Warzone really more so opened up my world to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because I could like do different strategies on that, but I started out with like Battlefield.
Yeah.
And I like Battlefield because I don't have the best eye-hand coordination. And so like I just find a specialty. So I'd be like really good at tanks. Or I'd be really good at healing. Or become a good scout. But I remember my first time like doing Call of Duty with the same crew that I was playing with, and I got destroyed because in order to do Call of Duty well, you have to be a freaking Rambo.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of have like multiple
you have the right setup.
Not just one.
Yeah, and you gotta have the right gaming setup too for Call of Duty. I feel like because I have like the best setup you could have. I just bought a monitor that has like a 0.03 millisecond response time. I have like a 4090 graphics card controller. Like, you really gotta like be in it if you're gonna be in it. I did play Battlefield for a little bit, but I quit after Battlefield 1. But that was like before my like popularity rise. So I was just like playing other games. I played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege as well.
Oh yeah.
I was a big Siege guy. I have like over 1,000 hours on that game, and I've hit Diamond in Siege. Like, that's one thing I also really appreciate is I have the background of other games. So I played in one of my recent videos that came out, I think last October, I won a game of Warzone and Fortnite at the same time. So like having the background of playing other games is still really good. Like I still do other games, but I like to have it where it's incorporated into the video kind of way. So it's like, oh, I really want to upload Fortnite, but I don't want to make a Fortnite video. Let me just incorporate it into something Call of Duty related I'm doing. I've done that a few times. I did that with Payday 2. I played Payday 2, which is like a heist game. That's like, I think it's one of the most popular co-op shooters on PC. I incorporated that in a Call of Duty video that has like 1.7 million views. And then I put Apex Legends into a Call of Duty video that has over 1 million views. And same with the Fortnite one, it has over 1 million views. And then even sometimes I'll do like little things like VR chat because you can be Call of Duty characters in VR chat. So I'm always finding ways like integrate other games into the game I play.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
So how did you go from that, point of like starting to gain all that traction, then to come up with like the Alcatraz idea? I mean, were you looking at data? I mean, was there any channels or content that was inspiring you? Like where'd that come from?
So my mind's always thinking about it. It didn't come from like anyone specific. It just randomly hit me one day. because I was watching like I go on YouTube a lot while I edit, so I saw like a video of like documentary of Alcatraz. I was just interested in it, and I saw it and I was like, wait, this looks like Rebirth. Why have I not thought about this before? And it kind of hit me. And like sometimes this happens all the time. Like no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm trying to go to bed, I'm in the shower, I'm driving, whatever, I come up with an idea, I just throw it in my notes like immediately. I don't wait a second. And sometimes I won't look at those notes for like months or like a year, but I'll always go back and look and then I execute the idea. But it's just like always, like I'm always thinking about something new. So like right now, I'm working on 3 different videos at the moment. I'm working on the next rap video because I got my own skin. I'm working on a Call of Duty in real life video because I did another shipment thing. I did another video with shipment where me and this guy, we were both dressed up as ghosts from Call of Duty, and he has a bunch of airsoft guns from the Call of Duty universe, and we 1v1'd on shipment. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm recreating the HUD for Call of Duty, the overhead display for it. It's like the mini map, like the kill feed, like even like the calling card and emblem, and like the animations of like the game loading in. I'm doing all that, so it's like literally Call of Duty in real life, and like the gun sounds are replaced. So I'm working on that video, and then my third video, I'm working on like a huge like Call of Duty experience. It's gonna be like a 30-minute, like insanely edited, like packed video of like just literally the ultimate Call of Duty experience that people are gonna love.
I mean, do you have anyone like helping you, like
No.
like produce it or like editing it?
I edit and record and come up with all of the ideas myself. The only thing I get help with is thumbnails. So I have a couple people I work with. I don't have someone make my thumbnail. I'll be like, okay, I need this character model. I need you to pull it out of the game for me and have it pose this certain way. And then I have another guy. I'm like, hey, can you put this face inside this uniform and make it look real? And then I will put the background myself and everything around it myself. I just have like the base done for me, and that's it. Oh, one thing I did do for a little bit, it was end of 2022, and I did it for the first rap videos. I learned how to use a motion capture suit for my video. So I bought this motion capture suit. It covers like your fingers. It has like a headband, your back, your shoulder, your elbows, your legs, your feet, everything. And this motion capture suit I used when Call of Duty Vanguard released in 2022, and I used it for like to enhance like death reactions. So like when I kill someone and they talk in game, I would have like their character model on the screen. I would like, act like them depending on how they reacted to like kind of enhance the reaction. And then I did other things with it where I had a section where I had a ninja diffuse, but it was inspired by GTA 5. So we were all dressed as motorcycle bikers. And in one of the Call of Duty maps called Pines on Black Ops Cold War, they have a clothing shop with a bunch of mannequins. And I came up with my idea with my friends. I was like, what if we stood on top of the counters, all wearing the same uniform, and we hold a throwing knife, we look like a mannequin. So we're around this table, there were 3 of us dressed as mannequins, and the enemies came in, they didn't see us. And so to inspire that idea to make it come to life, I recreated the GTA 5 clothes store scene where like, you know how you ever played GTA 5?
Yeah.
So when you go in the clothes store, it shows your full character, and then on the right, on the left of the screen, it shows like the menu with all the clothes you can buy. And like when you scroll through it, like your character changes clothes as you're looking at it. So for the very first time I used the motion capture suit, I did like a GTA 5 like idle post. Like I stood there and like recorded me like standing there, kind of like looking around like I'm in the clothes store. And then I had someone take the models from the game files of the Call of Duty skins, and we applied the animation to all the models. And then I recreated the GTA 5 HUD in Photoshop. And like as I scrolled, it would change the skin on the screen. And then once it got to the biker skin, it like looked like we bought the skin, and that's when it gets into the cinematic of it. So like you really understand that like the biker is a character in the scene. But the motion capture shoot was like a crazy like out off the wall idea I had, because no one does motion capture with Call of Duty. Yeah, it was super crazy. I haven't.
Are you worried that you could like have risk of burnout with all that you're doing? Because so I understand that you're getting help with thumbnails, etc. I want to talk more about your strategy there, but just doing everything from A to Z, that sounds exhausting.
It's exhausting, but it's not exhausting to a point where I will stop doing it. Because the great thing about YouTube is they reward good videos over spamming uploads. So back then on YouTube, it was a little bit more random, but because we're in 2023, there's better data, there's better systems, everything's better in the world. They have gathered larger data. YouTube is designed where if you make a fantastic video, it'll get its reach no matter what. And so what's great is I don't have to worry about uploading once a week anymore, because that was a thing of the past. When I was uploading once a week, I was still trying to figure it out, and it was what was working at the time. And so I've gone 100 days without uploading, and I'll upload a video and it gets 1 million views just because I really focus on the quality. And the reason I don't burn out is because every time I do a video, I'm learning something completely new. So like the motion capture suit, something completely new. The rat video, I had to learn how to make better visuals. I had to learn how to storytell, camera work. So as long as I'm always learning something new, I will never be burned out because I always want to be making something and I want to make like an impact for sure. And I'm getting more now into like the music side of things, like learning how to make music myself, not like so much vocal, just like more of like learning how to make beats. And eventually I'm going to learn how to incorporate that into my content. And so that's the thing I love is also just collaborating with different people. So like I have friends that are artists, I have friends that are actors, and I have all these different friends in different backgrounds that allow me to experience different things. So like when I did Shipment in Nuketown in real life, where we also recorded the airsoft video, I did that with a super popular like airsoft YouTuber who does like, he's really into airsoft. Like he's done airsoft games with like 500 people where they're in an abandoned town. They have tanks. They like are literally flying in helicopters, like shooting airsoft guns. So the experience is always nice getting to meet and see new things, and also just overall building my experience so I can do things like where I worked with FaZe, where I worked with Aiden Ross. So like overall, I'm just kind of using YouTube as a way to express my creativity and kind of build a portfolio. So if I want to go to a person or a company, I can be like, this is what I've done before, and they can see the work. So I don't even have to like talk. They just see it and go, okay, yeah. So that's why I'll never get burned out.
Well, that's amazing. So basically you're creating and you're making a living doing it. And basically if you need a default anywhere, you have all this data to show that you can bring a lot to the table if worst case happens. Let's talk about your thumbnails. You do have a very interesting like thumbnail strategy. Do you use any tools? Like do you use TubeBuddy or other tools out there that help with the thumbnails? Or are these things that you just do manually with the people you hired?
I just do it manually myself. I understand how thumbnails work with like complementary colors, depth, 3D. You don't want to put something I see a lot of people do that's a huge mistake is they'll put their title, like let's say the title's try not to laugh, and then they have in their thumbnail, they have it in text, try not to laugh. I understand things not to do. I don't use TubeBuddy or anything. I should be using that, but I kind of like the creative expression that I can have with my stuff. And the thumbnail,
I'll be biased to that because I obviously run TubeBuddy, but you should check out there's a new tool that just came out like 2 weeks ago called the Thumbnail Analyzer, and like so you can put up different thumbnails that you have, and it'll show a heat map of where people are going to be looking and a prediction on which one's going to be the most successful.
Oh wow, I'll definitely have to look at that after. Thanks for telling me that.
But you're already like doing like a really good job. One question I have with the thumbnail, I see thumbnails with Nerf like in them. Can you give me context on that? Because like I tried like looking through it really quickly, and I would love to know like.
Okay, so Call of Duty has a lot of guns in them, and whenever I do a gun video, I put Nerf in the thumbnail because it's like the gun's good.
So it's not a collaboration then.
No, but I have been told by like past agents that I worked with that like Nerf loves that I do it, and I think it's funny. And it there's also data behind it as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me about the data.
So that's the one part with data for thumbnails is the most viewed Call of Duty videos are Nerf gun videos, and so there's kind of a data comparison there for it. So I put it in the thumbnail because it gets searches. Which is a huge thing. I haven't done it in like 2 years because
these are older videos, but I saw that you were
so
I feel like you're like evolving how you're doing it to be more effective.
So how I look at it, so Call of Duty changes and they make a lot of bad mistakes, and you have to evolve with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I stopped making like the gun videos I'd do a video on an individual gun, and it would always do so well. But now with Call of Duty, there's so many guns, and Call of Duty didn't license the names, like the real names of any of these guns. So it's literally impossible to do videos on them because they don't license the gun names. I'm not going to do a video on it because no one knows what the gun is.
Yeah.
And the guns are just overall less interesting, I feel like. Call of Duty's been an interesting slippy road recently. So a lot of the old video ideas, people won't want me to do like old videos, like do like these ones. I'm like, I can't because the game isn't designed to do those kind of videos. So like I would do videos on the new seasons coming out, but the new battle passes aren't great. And they gatekeep majority of the content. halfway through the season. So it's like I can't do a season video when they gatekeep all the content from the players in the first half.
No.
And like they're like anime. I did a lot of anime videos that are super popular. I think 1 or 2 of them have over 2 million views. I can't do those anymore because they don't release enough anime bundles that are interesting for the viewer to like. And also the games are so buggy. There's so many problems. It's like there's so many things gatekeeping it. That's why I do the videos I do now, is because no matter what the state of the game is, the video works regardless. Which is why I've switched the style of what I did, because I saw a downtrend a little bit from Call of Duty Vanguard's release, and that's what really pushed me to do the rat thing. Is like, okay, no matter the state of the game, the rat video will work. No one cares about the guns. No one cares about the season we're in. No one cares about the maps content, as long as it's interesting. So that's why I've switched to that style of content, is because after Black Ops Cold War, Call of Duty's like definitely been slacking on their creative ideas for sure.
Sure. So you mentioned that you missed the boat when it came to Fortnite. Are you constantly on the look of a next game that could be like the next like cultural like explosion in gaming?
I have 2 games I want to test out. I want to test out Counter-Strike 2 and Payday 3, because Counter-Strike 2 is already huge and they saw their biggest player count ever when they revealed Counter-Strike 2. And then Payday 3 is one of the most popular. Payday as a franchise is one of the most popular co-op shooters of all time. And now that we're in 2023 and this is no longer 2014, Payday 2 is able to, or Payday's able to make the console versions the same versions as the PC versions, because the problem with Payday before is the console versions were terrible. No one really cared about them. They were just awfully made. They didn't update them. And so now that we have,
kind of like PUBG.
Yeah, that's a fantastic example. So now that we have next generation consoles, I think Payday is a huge game to be on the lookout for. And when the time comes, if I don't want to make a full video on it, I'm still going to incorporate it somehow. So like for Counter-Strike, I've got a few ideas on how I can incorporate it into a Call of Duty video, because they've got Call of Duty maps that are like fan made on Counter-Strike servers. So there's always room to make something still.
Are there other gaming channels that do these types of mashups where they incorporate like Apex into Call of Duty or others? Like,
I don't think so.
So are you one of the first to be doing that?
I think with Call of Duty for sure, because I have been since 2020 when Warzone came out. I've been a top 5 viewed creator of the month for Call of Duty on an individual video since 2020, and the only people I've really had in my area are like Dismo, fantastic creator, Jev, and Jack Frags, and sometimes there's like a one-off, but those guys are like really good creators. And the thing is that's amazing too is my viewers watch their videos as well, so we kind of have like a little pool of viewers. And and no one does what I do, because it a lot of people are afraid of taking the leap of not uploading a video every day, every 2 days, because the videos really take time, because it's not, they don't just spawn in made. You got to really, you got to think about every little cut. And another thing too is I'll make a video and then I'll cut out 50% of the video and delete it, because it doesn't fit the narrative of what I'm doing, or it doesn't flow correctly. So like it takes a lot of work.
So I've heard from several mutual friends that you're very data driven. Like, what data do you look at, and then how do you have data be a part of your creative process?
So I look at what others are doing wrong. So I look at channels that were popular at one point, and I see why they're not popular now. Something a lot of people do in Call of Duty is their intros like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. That is crazy to me. My intros are 10 seconds or less, because the intro should just be the entire video. Like it should just be the video itself. You shouldn't have to be like, today's video I'm going to be doing this, because that's not the point. You have a title and a thumbnail for that. So I look at what people are doing wrong, and then I look at what people are doing right. So just today, actually, I had a video hit 2 million views that I made in December. It's about grinding the camo, the master camo in Call of Duty. So the master camo is the camo you get when you unlock every camo in the game, and it takes over 100 hours. I did this video, shout out to Jev for this, because he did a Damascus like Rage Taj back in March 2019, and it's the second most popular video of all time. And so I looked at that video, and I was like, okay, so people love the relatability of grinding master camos. So then I documented my entire journey of me grinding the master camo, and I kind of made like a recap of it, from like the challenge you have to do, all the bugs I encountered, the experience I had, like funny moments, rage moments, like people I met in game, and it created just this big, massive like experience that's relatable to the audience because they're going for mesh camos. So I look at that for stuff I should do, and then other data I look is like how certain videos perform about certain topics, like retention. I look at viewer charts, what viewers are watching. I look at like hot topics in the game. I look at like literally every single little piece. Like I can go months without uploading a video because I want to make sure what I'm making is worth the time. So like recently, I've had a few videos do okay, like 500,000 views, and I look at that, I'm like, okay, so people are not interested in that topic, move on. So like when the first gun video I had did bad, I instantly moved on. Didn't think twice because not a single gun video has ever done bad on my channel. So when that did bad, I was like, nope, we're done doing the entire thing. Move on.
Wow. So
Yeah.
as soon as you lose traction, you immediately pivot.
Yeah. So like the rat video,
Yeah.
the last one has about 720,000 views. I'm doing this last one, shelving the idea for the rest of the year. We're done with that one until like future titles come out because I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overstuff it. And I'm going to find a million different things to move on to next that are going to.
So what metrics give you the impression or the gut feel that like you're overdoing it? Is it just the viewership, the view-through rate?
I just think when it doesn't get that many views, I think I just didn't do a greater job that I could have done. And I just move on instantly and revisit at a later time when I've experienced different things because then I'll have a completely different mindset because like the rat video, when I started making it, the first one, I have a completely different mindset going into the one I'm making now. So it's like I shift my mindset and I'll come back to a later date to a certain idea. Like the season videos I did, the last like video I did about a Call of Duty season, it did bad in my eyes, and I never made a video like that again. So I shelved it, moved on. Same with the anime videos. Like the last one I made has 1.2 million now, but at the time I made it, it didn't have that many views that I was expecting. So I didn't make a single anime video after that because there was no way I was going to top that video. Like the last anime video I did is one of my most liked videos, and I was like, no way I can make something even close to the magnitude that this one was. So I just move on. So like once I can't make something bigger than the last one, I literally just like stop making it again. Just go on.
So my daughter is obsessed with Roblox and she loves watching all the gameplay and let's play, you know, video content that is out there. And her and all of her friends, and then, you know, many people I know, nieces and nephews, friends' children, all their kids not only want to be like YouTubers or creators, but a lot of them want to be gamers.
Mm-hmm.
What type of advice would you give to these up and coming creators that are in gaming or these kids that, you know, when they see themselves trying to do it? How do you get started and how can you be grow the momentum to be successful?
You gotta start making videos, literally. Like it takes, Mr. Beast has said the same thing, and it's everything he says based off experience, which I relate to, is you gotta literally just keep making videos. They will not get views for your first 10 videos, your first 50 videos, even could be your first 100 videos. They will not get views. But the thing you gain from that is you gain experience on how to do certain things, and you overall gain the knowledge on how everything works. And a great example of this is like Kanye West. His music, it was very popular back in the day, like early 2000s. And all of his experience he's ever had has led up to him making albums like Donda, which is like such a different sound and it's very new. And that's for a lot of artists like Drake. You start at one spot and you work your way up. Like back then, Drake was probably so proud of his music and he looks back and goes, oh, wow, like I'm doing way better now. It's like if you just start somewhere, it'll eventually get somewhere as long as you're constantly trying. And you need to do a lot of research as well. You need to learn how cameras work. You need to learn how pacing works. You got to learn literally all that stuff. Like YouTube is a great resource. Like people go to school for this stuff. I mean, I believe in college. I believe in school if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be in construction, all that stuff. But for like the realm of making videos, I feel like you could definitely learn a lot of it by yourself. Like I learned a motion capture suite. I learned how to use Premiere Pro, Photoshop. I learned how to deep dive in recording where like when I record, it's 4 audio lanes. So like it'll be when I put in my editing software, I can cut out certain things. Like all that stuff is self-taught. And I didn't go to people to do that because I don't like being controlled. I just had the creative freedom to do exactly what I wanted to do. Same with learning like green screen, key lights, cameras. Everything I've learned is just like self-taught. So I just believe in hard work. And also another thing I believe in that's definitely true is like going through hard times will definitely build you as a person and build your character better, because if you look at the top artists in the world and like top celebrities, creators, all that, they all had a point in their life where they went through something crazy or they started from nothing. So I believe that growth as well, like not just growth in your knowledge, but growth as a human definitely is a huge part of it. Because a lot of the videos I've made are like passion pieces to like how I'm feeling at that time. And so I believe in those two things, is learning as a person and then learning from a knowledge standpoint with technology.
Yeah, so learning as a person, learning, knowledge and how the equipment works, basically empowers self-expression.
Yeah, so like dopamine effects, like oxytocins, all that stuff plays a huge role into making a story and like emotion. Because if you have no emotion, you can't make a piece that's good. Because how are you going to connect to an audience when you're basically just a robot, you know? And that's another thing is like, I don't believe that people, especially in the Call of Duty area, I don't believe people are real creators when they have everybody do everything for them. So like people, I don't like when creators hit record and that's all they do for their video. Everything gets edited, everything gets made, they're told what to do. I don't believe that's a true creator. I believe true creators are people that deep dive into their own works. Like Mr. Beast, he has people editing, but he is very knowledgeable in that and he knows how to make ideas based around that stuff. So that's a different thing. But people that just hit record and call it a day, I don't believe are as the same level as people that do everything in deep dive.
It's obvious that he's driving because he keeps increasing the intensity of what he's creating.
Exactly, yeah.
Doesn't stop. He has 200 acres. He has tens of thousands of square footage of different studios. It's insane. And, he actually said on this podcast, he said, you got to admit that your videos suck.
Yeah.
You have to keep improving until they get good and get views.
Exactly. I believe in that too, because my friends, I'll show them something, be like, my friends know that I don't care what they think. So I'll show it to them that they say it sucks. Collectively, I'm like, okay, I agree. And then I'll change things. So like some of my biggest videos have changed because my friends tell me like, this is terrible. You need to do this instead. Or like, think of better ideas. Cause like, this is not what people want to see. And I always like fall through with that because another thing Call of Duty creators do, I've tried working with Call of Duty creators, they get very in their feelings about their videos and their analytics. Like a lot of creators don't even look at their analytics because it's just like they don't want to get like a bad stomach ache because they see how low the graphs are. And like one thing I really don't like is people that make videos about guns in the game, but they just send it off to their editor and their editor does everything. I don't think that's a passion project. And that's really just a way for them to make money versus like putting their passion into it. So like for me, I will put literally thousands of dollars into a video. So like when I had a 26-minute video I did last October, I went to LA, I went to San Francisco, I played in like an ultra wide monitor that was like literally 49 inches wide. I did all these crazy different things in the video and I had all these visuals. So I put a lot of time and money into it. And I saw a bigger outcome than an entire month worth of Call of Duty creators videos. So like one dude that has uploaded every day for 31 days, my video that took 2 months saw a better reach and engagement than his entire month combined. So I think that in Call of Duty especially, people should be putting more time into their videos because overall, if everyone's making great videos, there's more interest, which traffics a lot more views for everybody combined. Because a lot of my viewers come from Jev and Jev's viewers come from mine. So it's like, I wish that Call of Duty had more passionate creators because then everyone overall would be succeeding a lot more.
Well, it sounds like you and your friends are all very intuitive, but also very self-aware, and you all trust each other. Like that to me is like, that's just fascinating. I feel like I want to start calling you the Michelangelo of gaming.
Yeah, my friends don't even make gaming content. They're normal people, living normal lives, college, school, girlfriends, and all that. So it's really nice to have to have one foot in the door and one foot out the door of having reality still, because I'm not surrounded by a bunch of creators. That's one step out the door. And I have one foot in the door where I have my creator side where I engage with all my creators and everything like that. So it's nice to have both feet in different sides, because I feel like if you have both feet in the door, you're very clouded and everyone around you is like more of yes men, and you have smoking mirrors, right? It's like smoking mirrors is like people know you post creator versus my friends, they know me before being a creator. So I'm not really surrounded by smoking mirrors. I have very authentic people around me, which definitely is a huge driving factor. And Mr. Beast is definitely the same way. He grew up with his friends when they were in the living room making videos on the couch.
Yeah.
And he was doing 24-hour live streams spinning a fidget spinner. He has no smoking mirrors around him because he grew up with a group, which I believe is a huge thing.
Community impact makes a huge difference.
In what area?
Like being able to be with people that understand you, understand what you want to accomplish, and be able to give you feedback that you can trust. Because when I hear you taking this process, to me, it makes me anxious. Because as I've learned with data and with AI, there's just so much human bias that can be inaccurate or wrong. But it seems like you are all like jiving on the same page, where I think people are truly giving you the best effort and have knowledge about your content and what you do to actually make a difference in your creation process.
Yeah, and I'll even show people that I'm friends with that don't even game at all. They're not familiar with Call of Duty. They don't know anything about Call of Duty. I'll show them this video and be like, what do you think? Like, what do you gather from this? And if they have no idea what's happening, then I messed up and I got to redo the process of what I'm trying to make.
So it's kind of feedback just to make sure that they understand the story that you're trying to tell.
Yeah, I don't want to deep dive about this rat character if someone that's never played can't pick it up and watch it. So like people that don't understand Call of Duty, they'll be like, oh, that's funny. You dress like a rat and you're playing in a way that annoys people. Like that's funny. Versus people who were like, oh, I dropped 30 kills with these attachments on this gun. You're limiting your reach by like 1,000% because 99% of people on YouTube don't really care about that.
A random question about what you said earlier. When you say that some of these gamers are very sensitive about feedback on the videos that they create, do you trust getting feedback from them?
No.
Explain why.
Because, the videos that other people make are very minimalistic compared to what I make. So the thing is, people are comfortable. Let's say just a random Call of Duty creator, he makes a weapon video every day. Oh, guys, this is the meta weapon. He might be comfortable getting 20,000 views, 50,000 views a video because he uploads every day. And to him, that's an insane number. And he's comfortable with that. He doesn't want to change it. He doesn't want to bother to change it. So he might see my video and it might be something amazing to him. But to me, it could be like, eh. And so that's why I don't ever have that conversate with those people. And I also don't appreciate like the yes man concept and the smoking mirrors. So that's why I avoid that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, because like if they want you to lie to them, they're most likely gonna, be also like, pay the same respect and lie to you.
I have friends where they ask me what I think about the video, and I'll be straight up, be like, it sucks. Like your video is terrible. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And instead of being like, okay, what should I do? They try to defend it. I'm like, you asked me for my opinion. That's why I avoid that area for doing those kinds of things.
What inspires you?
Music, artists, other creators for sure. Like,
were there gaming creators that you followed that inspired you? Like,
yes, like very, very, very first when I was starting with like Fortnite and then the beginning of like my Modern Warfare 2019 videos. There was this one Rainbow Six Siege YouTuber named Anthony Pitt 1. He was like the most popular Siege YouTuber back then. And like his style of content was very relatable and funny and like kind of meme, pop culture. And then Too Mad as well. Too Mad was another creator who was kind of the same area as him. And then after that, I just became inspired by more world things that are not even related to gaming, like music artists and actors and like top creators. I would say like Mr. Beast is a great example. Like he just makes really good videos. And just sometimes like one-off creators that don't really even talk in their videos. They just make like cinematic masterpieces where it makes you look at it and think that you want to make something.
Well, like who's an example of that?
There's this one creator named Bed Bananas on YouTube. He makes videos on the most random games, but his videos are really interesting. And I don't even play the games he plays or anything near the games he plays, but I'll watch the videos just because they're super interesting to me. And his videos get a lot of views. This guy will not upload for 1 year. He doesn't even have 1 million subscribers. He won't upload for a whole year. He'll upload one video, he'll get 3 million views. Like, he's a very inspiring creator, and he doesn't say like ever speak in his videos at all.
It's amazing. Well, you recently did a face reveal because earlier on, you kept your face covered in most of your videos, correct?
Yeah, I would do videos where I was in them, but you like couldn't see like the facial features, just like my eyes and stuff.
So why did you do that? Then also, why did you decide to come out and share your face with the world?
Because it was limiting my creativity, not being able to do other things. For like example, again, the rat video.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been possible if I didn't show my face. That video would have never existed. And it was just coming to the point where I needed to do it just to expand also like deals and stuff. And one of the reasons I even lost Phase 5 is because I didn't really like show my face the way they wanted me to.
Right.
So like it limited my reach for sure in
Yeah.
certain areas. So that's why I did that.
Are there any AI tools like Dolly 2 or ChatGPT that you've been experimenting with to help you with your content?
I haven't done it yet. Like no videos of it yet. Definitely ChatGPT just to help clean up my scripts. So like
smart.
the scripts, I don't want them to be too long. So like I've used ChatGPT to I don't use AI to write the scripts. I'll take a script I have, put it in ChatGPT, be like remove the unnecessary talk, and it'll remove certain vocabulary words in there, and it makes the script just a lot cleaner, so it gets the point across without over rambling.
That's so cool. So I really think that's gonna be like the future of the creator economy or creators and AI. Is that the AI is gonna really assist them just to scale the nuances and to take out the guesswork. Like for example, there's a type of AI called multi-model AI where you put in like two different inputs, like maybe a couple of words or like an image, and it can like create a video. This is freaking some people out because they're like, oh goodness, like there's gonna be so many creators or just a few creators are just doing all the content because it's all gonna be AI powered. What you did with your ChatGPT is you already had data. You already had from your perspective. You put it in there, you had to refine it. Well, imagine if one day you have, let's say, a dozen platforms that you want to start growing your audience on. If you have 400 videos or 1,000 videos, I believe what you're going to be able to do is add that data and give it to AI, and it's going to spit out the right videos for the right platform, all in your voice, all with your creativity, and then just refine it to where you want to start growing an audience. But I think it's always going to be coming from the data set from the human.
Yeah, exactly. I've been seeing this recently. Like people will use AI to make thumbnails. I don't agree with any of that because it still looks really weird for at least thumbnails. Like, I'll use an AI image for a video. Like I'm doing it right now, but I just typed in like put a rat in an army uniform. Yeah. And it gave me like really good pictures, but like I don't use it to actually make anything for me for real. Because I believe that loses the touch of being relatable.
You're an artist, and the thumbnails are part of the art that you're sharing.
Yeah. So like I was talking about like viewers submitting rat clips to me, and then on screen in the background there's like pictures of rats wearing army uniforms, but like I didn't make it because AI can make little things like that. So I like it for little work, but like overall I like to do it myself for sure. And you're talking about growing other video platforms. One thing I think is interesting now is how the YouTube sub count doesn't mean as much as it did back then because of YouTube Shorts existing.
Yeah.
I don't even look at my sub count because I've realized that it doesn't mean a single thing for me because I see a lot of, this is like a huge thing in Call of Duty. I see a lot of inflated egos because they'll have 900,000 subscribers in 1 year because they made YouTube short videos. But then if you look at their long form content, even though they have 900,000 subscribers, they have 5,000 views on a long form video. So I think that's super interesting. I don't like short form content because I have the ability to create long form. So I have never made a YouTube short ever because I don't have like any need to do that. I don't really use TikTok either just because I like to focus on the long form because that's overall where it matters the most. Because I know right now like a lot of gaming orgs don't really have money, and I feel like a portion of that is because they sign a lot of short form creators and they aren't getting the return that they should be getting because it's a short form creator. When you're scrolling through TikTok, YouTube Shorts, you're more invested into that small moment than the overall creator itself. So I think that's an interesting way. Well, I would love to be a part of a gaming team, but no gaming team has ever like wanted me because I don't do the short form content and I'm not sitting there streaming 8 hours a day. So I think it's like a very interesting thing.
Well, I said once, like, I think this is like 2008 or 2007, where it's not about the viral video because viral videos get forgotten.
Yeah.
I think there's an interesting theory there where if you do long form and people are watching you from the beginning to the end, you're probably building loyalty.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe in that. I'm glad you brought that up. I believe in loyalty a lot. I will never clickbait my videos, and I will never release a video for money because you're losing your credibility overall with that. And so like some creators I see, they'll long-term clickbait, and in the end it falls off because no one's being baited anymore, and that YouTuber is no longer trusted. So I definitely believe in loyalty and making super authentic content. So I like to overextend your expectations. So you came for one thing, but then I just blew you away, kind of thing. That's how I like to do it, for sure.
Where do you want to be in 10 years?
In 10 years, I definitely want to be doing media that is for a larger scale reason, whether it's movies, game trailers, music, like something. So I did work with Activision on something, but it never like really got in full force. I helped them make a trailer to promote Vanguard. That really never ran the full force with it. I don't know what happened with it. They kind of took some of my ideas and did a trailer with it, but didn't really do anything with it. But I would love to like really work on like bundle trailers for them for like their skins, because I do that anyways, but it'd be cool to have like the ability to do as a developer. And one thing I'm really getting into right now, I have a couple friends that are artists. I really want to get into making music videos and making visuals for artists, not anything on their beat making side, none of their vocals, none of their actual making the music. I really want to get into like the making music videos. I'm a huge fan of Lyrical Lemonade. They're like my favorite. I have a friend that's an artist. His name is $Not, like Snot. I watched him come up from 2020 to now. He's like a really big artist now because he is really focused on making really good music, and his music videos are amazing. His director, that's one of my friends, his name's Omar Jones. He is a fantastic like music video director. He's done music videos for my friend. He's done music videos for Kanye West. He's done music videos for like Lil Tecca. He's done a lot of stuff like that. And that's a realm I really want to step into for sure, because I have a lot of creative ideas. I just haven't been able to have the opportunity to express that yet.
So, we talked about like how sub count just doesn't matter, and people shouldn't have egos over sub count. And I agree with that. I think that that's relevant across the board with all platforms. I'm assuming, I mean, outside of views, like, are there other like engagement metrics that you look at?
I very much pay attention to Call of Duty's financials, and I listen to every quarterly call that they have.
Wow.
Because you have to really pay attention to what they're doing to set yourself up in the future. So the video I made in December that just hit 2 million views, that video I predicted was going to be like a top viewed video for me. I've made over 100 videos since 2019. It's my second fastest growing video of all time. And I planned that. That was all predicted and planned based off of what game title was coming out and how their player counts were looking. So it's a Modern Warfare title. Modern Warfare 2019 is their most sold game of all time.
So this is you watching the CEO and the CFO talking about the Activision future financials.
Yeah, I pay attention to all that. So when I
Did
heard
anyone else do that?
Probably not. Maybe
goodness, I've never heard about this before.
Outside of creators, definitely people do, but like as a creator, no one really is paying attention like that. So I saw a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019 was coming out. Modern Warfare 2019 is their most sold game of all time, which is crazy considering it's like the 19th entry in the franchise, whatever, 18th, 17th. And so I was like, okay, this camo video is going to do well for multiple reasons. I'm going to have no swearing in it because we want it to grow throughout the months. We don't want it to die. And it's a camo grind, something people do in game. And it's a sequel to the most popular Call of Duty of all time. So that video, I even told my manager, I was like, this video is going to be one of my best videos, and it will grow for months and months and months. Like, it's been out for 7 months and it's still getting 5,000, 10,000 views a day. And it out ratios, it's still my most viewed video every 48 hours compared to even recent videos I posted. It ratios every single video, and that was all planned. And I'm doing the same thing right now. I have like 4 or 5 videos for the end of the year that are going to be my top viewed videos because I know what's going on at Activision and I pay attention to everything. I have everything like rooted out perfectly.
Does Activision know like that you follow them in this much detail? They
definitely know I know too much in areas that are like confidential kind of thing with like seeing leaks and everything. They definitely don't like that, but it helps me because I know what to plan for the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like you literally look for all the data possible from both the finance, from the performance, as well as the actual content that gets leaked out.
Even stuff that hasn't leaked that I know about, that I get information about. I have like all that.
You have a mole inside of there, don't you?
No, I would never, ever like actually speak on what they make though, because I feel like that's very detrimental to the people making the games. I have very much respect for them, But when
Sure.
it comes to like knowing things, it's very great because then I can make greater videos that overall benefit them. Because if I can plan something amazing out, people want to play the game more. I get comments all the time. This guy makes me want to play the game. This guy is the only reason I still play the game. Stuff like
Well, you
that. But
see
I have
what you-
respect.
trailers. I think the content that you create is probably more valuable than a trailer.
I appreciate that. They have some amazing people that make trailers. Though whoever I forgot his name. He makes a lot. He made all the Cold War trailers. He was like fantastic. Like he knew how to cut everything perfectly, how to move the next scene right before something happens. Like he was very amazing. But like I said, I do respect the developers though. I would never like actually leak the things they're making because they're very passionate people.
Well, Hunter, you've had a lot of knowledge that you shared here, and I'm so thankful for it. Is there anything else that you're thinking about that you think would be helpful to other creators out there that you'd love to share?
I think people should not be afraid to make content, and if they have something completely crazy they want to do, they should just do it, even if it's outside the box, because some of the best things ever made in even history were made on accident. Like look at Shipment from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. They didn't even mean to put that in the game. That map was not even supposed to exist outside of a playtest. They accidentally shipped that map with Call of Duty 4, and now it's their most popular map ever. So they made that on accident. Look at music, like this guy named Lil Yachty. He has a song called Poland. It's like one of his most popular songs of all time.
Oh, yeah, he's a big gamer.
He was never going to release a song called Poland. Someone hacked his music, found the song, and then hit him up, was like, why don't you release this? He was scared to release it. He released it. Video blew up. Or the song blew up. Same thing with videos. Just make crazy videos, and there's potential. If you limit yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. Same with creators that are told to make the same content. Like, please make the same content. Don't listen to those people, because if you can't expand and try new things, you're never going to make something great. Look at Filthy Frank. He's Joji now. He's an artist now. He's a very well-respected artist. Filthy Frank was like a huge YouTuber, millions of views. One day he quit because he just wanted to pursue his passion. And now he's like a huge artist that everybody loves. Like his musician side passed his YouTuber side by a bazillion. He has music videos with 500 million views, 200 million views, and that's because he wasn't scared to do it. So I think people should just pursue their passion, even if it's not creation. 100%, just do everything you can to make it come to life. And there's no real consequences to doing it. People may think there's a real consequence to it. There's no consequence, especially with YouTube. Your entire channel is not connected to one algorithm. You can make one video that gets 1,000 views, and the next one could be 1,000,000 views just based off what the video you made.
Well, wow. Thank you so much, Andre. And it's interesting you said that about, was it Filthy Frank, and how he got bigger with music after like YouTube. Not a lot of people know this, but Post Malone was a part of like Team Crafted, where he was a part of that crew, which is an old school Minecraft group. And he was like probably the less known, less popular out of that entire squad. And look at him today. He's very mainstream, and he followed his passions of music. And so I think that's amazing advice. Hunter, again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for geeking out. This was so much fun. I've learned so much. I was not expecting any of this. And I could listen to you for another couple hours with how you think and how you approach things.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Please like and please subscribe and continue watching these videos. Thank you so much.